If there is a fear, you must ask, why is there a fear? And you have to transmute that fear with love, because love is the only medicine that is going to give us the next movement.
Look at shadow work like an onion. It's layers.
What an awesome night, huh? What an awesome night. We had a beautiful night of soul searching and revelations, and my sister queens here helped me to see things that was really hard to see last night. But I'm happy that they did. I'm happy that they did, because it means that I get to go forward, not blinded. And it was something, now that I think about it, right before we had our discussion last night, I kept thinking about the song, and it goes, going through life with blinders on, it's tough to see. And I was like, why do I keep thinking of that line? Going through life with blinders on, it's tough to see. You know, I was like, wow, I'm just thinking about the show I saw it from, right? And I put it to the side. And I realized I was running away from that. I was running away from that statement when I really was supposed to pay attention to it. I did the shamanic, the karmic meditation last night. That was off the chain deep. That was off the chain deep. And instead of just listening to her, and I had to speak really quick because she speaks very quick.
Yeah,
I repeated everything she said. I had my left hand on my sacral, I had my right hand on my heart, and I just talked with her throughout the whole thing. And I could just feel everything connect in my chakras and explode and come out. And I just wanted, oh wow, I can't wait to do it again today. I'm actually going to do it after I call and take another nap. But it opened myself to a lot of healing, which I was happy about. I know I need to do it some more. Can't say that I have hope with what I heard. I can't say that I believe within myself just yet, so I need to do it some more. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
What we were talking about last night about me believing in myself and not having being ruled by fear, you know, that old fear, you know what I mean? That family generational fear. So yeah, but it felt good saying it. It felt good taking power, empowering myself with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just know I need to do it some more.
Yeah.
I need to do it some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the repetition is wonderful, you know, and even in that you just said, because I literally, when I was initially doing affirmations and shadow work and stuff like that, I had an expectation of, okay, I said it, it's done. And then, so when it wasn't, then I would judge myself. I would judge myself and be like, you know, how you only saying you are awakening? You can't even fix the fact that you got issues with self-worth. What is going on with you? So then I start, and then all this negative and judgment and critical thinking of myself, you know, was like just loud. But now I see that, I mean, just like when we speak about being pressed in a diamond, it doesn't happen just in 1 second. Boom, the diamond's there. Woo, it's shiny, it's pretty. No, it takes time. It takes different, you know, pressure points. And then, okay, now this side is looking a little shiny. So now let's trade to this side. Because, I mean, just think that when we're here, each time we reincarnate, sometimes we bring past lives, karma, in addition to when we're the gate that we came through, we come also with generational and lineage habits, I'll say it that way, you know? So we have to, it takes time. We're literally, I look at shadow work like an onion, you know? It's layers. And then when you get to the next layer, like, okay, you just peeled off a little bit of your self-worth stuff. Okay, and now you're like, ooh, I'm worthy. And then a different circumstance. You can have practice.
The next step.
Yeah, practice.
Next level.
And then you're like, you get a little circumstance come like, oh, I feel so unworthy. And then there's another layer. I'm like, oh, okay, so I can be worthy when I wear red. I can be worthy when I'm in the kitchen. I can be worthy when I'm speaking to my partner. You know, because it's different experiences you have to experience to truly be that. So, man, okay.
I know. So, you know, that's funny because I take my the same way, my shadow work as and that's actually one of my I found the of like what I did throughout my awakening, and that was one of the biggest keys. So I had like 7 steps of my awakening. I shared before. I will love to share that. That's going to be shared in another conversation. I think we're going to share that tomorrow. Yes, we'll share that tomorrow because I want to stay on this conversation. So I want to say that I've been getting my ass kicked myself. So, and I said my ass kicked because I didn't, you know, when the first time that came down and I listened, I'm like, oh, okay, next time. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Keep writing it down. And I know that happens to a lot of us. Like we get a download and I was like, oh yeah. Like, and she received the download through a song and she's like, oh, chica, that was just a show I listened. But it feels like randomly coming to you. Believe it's not you, boo. Like believe that it's your guys trying to give you a clue of the next healing process, you know, for you and or in your family or your friends or whatever the case may be. And for me, in my case, it's my family, my husband, my kids. You know, we're going through being individual to putting it together to relearning after being married for 11 years. Because for me, I you know, when I see human design, it's like, oh my God, we've been doing it backwards all along. Like, why haven't we been doing it this way? But it takes, you know, yeah, it takes time and it takes an awakening for you to be like, boo. Ooh, okay, well, you know, I knew some of this stuff, but some of this stuff is deep. I'm gonna have to get in here. So that's what's happening to me, and also the fact that I'm also helping other people along the way. The spirit's like, boo, we're gonna have to take a break. Okay, so we're gonna have to take a break with the world. We're gonna have to like do some damage, like do some reorganizing here, and then let's tidy up the place, and then we're gonna go back because we're gonna need to tidy up, and the onions are still peeling. And that's why we cry so much, because we are an onion, like Shrek said. So yeah, it's been beautiful, but at the same time, it's like, dang, I didn't even know that was there. Okay, well, let's write it out. Let's see why it's there. Let's see if it's something that is serving me, like when I, you know, my higher self, like, am I gonna need this feeling? Am I gonna allow this, or am I gonna need this? Because it's a spirit, it's a feeling, it's a spirit, right? So if we engage on conversation, now it's part of us. If we engage in depression conversation, we are depressed. If we engage on anxiety conversation, we're anxious. If we engage on like feeling lonely, we're lonely. If we engage on the pain that our body is feeling, oh my God, we are in pain. We are in fear because we engage in the conversation. So that's why I'm so like snapping things out and all of that, other people and stuff. You know, some healing takes days for us to go through it because of the resistance and the blockages that we have created for ourselves. You know, I feel like we create those things because our guides always speaking. Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No. Oh no, forgive me. I was saying it's real interesting that you were saying that, because part of what I was feeling yesterday when you were saying there's something you won't let through, there's something you're not letting, you're not saying, is that I carry, like, if I talk about it, it's going to come back. First, I get upset that it's there, and then I don't want to talk about it because I've been working my ass off for it not to. But then you have to be honest with yourself. Did you really work your butt off? Did you really do? You know what I mean? Because if it's showing up, ta-da, you know. And the other thing would be like to be all right with it, to be all right with it, and know that things take time, and the divine knows in our heart, he knows our hearts, and he knows what we are working towards. As human, we have to know that it's all right, and it's all right, you know, and be all right with it. And I won't call it a setback, it's a learning process. You know what I mean? And I know that that setback feeling comes from when I was younger. Someone always telling me I had to be on point. I had to do it right the first time. I had to do this. I had to get this, and you know what I mean? And that stuck in my head, and I did it for so long. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm actually doing. And I'm not cutting myself breaks. You know, and then sometimes we seek to distract ourselves and hide from it because you don't want to see it. You don't want to see that it's still there.
Yes.
You know, and sometimes I'm just like, dang, if I talk about it, it'll come back. But then that's that fear that sets in. I can't be afraid of it. I have to be able to look at it. I have a picture of the divine spirit, divine leader, and I looked at him yesterday and I was like, I hear you. I hear you. And I'm still here. I'm in it, and I'm in it with it. I'm here. I'm here. And thank you. You know, I was so thankful for the lessons, because if we didn't have these lessons, we wouldn't, you know, wouldn't be able to see the next step, you know? When we're playing those video games I was talking about the other day, we're having fun, right? I mean, we're going through the stress of, oh, I gotta beat this bad guy. But if you really think about it, if you could put yourself in that game, and what the person whose journey is really going through, they ain't in there going like, yay, da, 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 got you, da, 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 right? No, they're like, oh my hell, holy hell, whoa, and they dodging out the way. I can't believe they're crying, they're screaming, they're yelling, they're triumphant, like, oh, thank you, I got through that, oh my gosh, yeah. Taking deep breaths, and think about it, really put yourself in it, because we are in it.
Yeah.
And reason why I say put yourself in it, because we got to stop running away from the truth of what we're really going through. Feel everything, go through everything, and know it's good. It's all part of the process. And don't have fear. That's my lesson. Yeah. Overcoming the fear and learning what the hell fear really is. You know what I mean? Oh, excuse me. I said hell like twice, 3 times.
You can say hell as many times as you need to. If you feel to say hell, say hell.
Yeah, because that is hell. If you think about it, that's a hell state of mind to be
in. I want to go back on something that you said that I'm learning, and something that I got a quick, like, you know, right when you said it. You know how because ultimately the way that we are now, regardless if it was programming or karma or anything, it was a habit. It was something that was habitual. We were used to doing it. Yeah. And us as awakened beings, enlightened people, we talk about, okay, so it takes 21 days to break a habit, right? Right? But then when we're doing our shadow work, or like when Angela said, it came back, it's like, dude, you didn't do it for 21 days, you know, and then
you did, and there's more.
Right, because there's different levels of it. Because, and remember, if you, first of all, if you're not going to the root, it could be 21 days until you get to the root. So that could be 10 years.
Ooh, wow.
It could be 5 years, or it could be 1 year, or it could be 1 second. Because remember, it's an onion, it's layers.
Yeah.
And remember that anytime we bring stuff back, there is memories with it. There's memories in our mind as well as muscle memory as well too. So our body has to go back in time and feel that trauma or event or whatever, bullying or whatever it was. So we have to give ourselves compassion and grace. I mean, think about your a little one. When they learn how to ride a bike, do we get mad at them? Or do they get mad at themselves when they fall down? Usually the mama's like, oh my God. And they're like, what, mama? They get up. And they're like,
Okay, I'm good.
Try again.
They're like, I want to know hands. And we're like, no, you're going to die. And they're like, what are you talking about? I just did it yesterday. And they're like, I didn't see you. Oh my God, you did what?
Yeah.
I flipped. Watch this.
Right. And then they fall and hurt themselves, cry for a second and laugh, bleeding, don't even care, gushing, and then back on the bike again.
Oh my God,
that's how we have to be. That's how we have to be now with what we're learning.
Resilience.
Yeah, resilient. No, and how did Nicole put it? Because P was like straight angry for 1 second, forgave himself and her, and got over it and kept going. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, we're good. Like, no,
right.
no.
And then she was all like, she was still in it. And he's like, what do you mean? Can we go eat ice cream now? You know?
Like,
Like 1 second. Oh, it's a
rule.
rule. It's 1 second and we go. And that's it. That's funny that you say that, but that is a method of manifestation, the 1 second rule. And yeah, it's powerful. It's powerful. It's like visualizing something coming in really, really fast.
Right.
Because our thoughts, we have like 10 million thoughts per second. Like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's so deep. It's so deep in so many ways. I'm glad we took this day to have this conversation because I needed it.
Yeah.
I needed to see a lot of things and to hear a lot of things. And I told you guys, like I went from like having conversations with you guys to like having conversations with my guides to being outside almost in like 43 degrees to like, girl, we either get this or we get this.
Yes.
And it was like a movie. It's like a movie of like events and and meditation going into one place, and then let's go see this and let's go do this and let's go do that. And I was just like, whoa, this is a lot. Okay, so we really need to organize. And that's just me. That was just my end of the things. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
You're in really deep thoughts, like you were like, whoa, that's deep. Yeah, boo, that's your spiritual guides, like giving you intel.
We love all of you. We appreciate you. And of course, write down where you're from. Write down any aha moments that you got from the conversation that we've had so far, and share if you feel inclined to sharing some of the things that you have been working through, on this journey, yesterday or a minute ago. Put it in the chat. And Amanda is here. Hey, Amanda. She said that I love my son for how forgiving he is. I would love to be like him soon. Working on it, laugh out loud. They're so resilient. Yeah. And then she asked a question. She said, how do you learn to speak to your guides, guys? I love that. So Jessie, I'm saying I'm appointing Phoenix over there. Jessie needs to go ahead and like share how did you initiate or invite them, or how did you even know they were there, Jessie? How are you doing all this God talking stuff?
Okay, good. That's a great question, actually. That was a great question because for a long time, that's a really good question because for a long time I was speaking and hearing, and because your guides speak to you the way that we are. So to start conversations, first we must invite them because they are always there. They're always there. But they're only intervene in our life or engage in conversations if we ask, if we invite them, because it's one of the laws of the spiritual law that we are only, you know, like there's that the free will part of it. So we have to invite them. So for a long time, I was just, you know, getting a lot of downloads. It's been 2 years now because of my awakening. My husband reminded me that it's been 2 years, guys, that it's been a year of my podcast. It's been 2 years of me, you know, being awakened and trying to, you know, creating my life now, from seeing it in meditation to like now actually finally, and like, you know, it took me a little bit because my awakening was so strong. It had to take me, you know, dying for me to come back and be like, oh, okay.
And when you say dying, what you
I
mean?
literally mean dying, like.
Okay, so you flatline, no heartbeat, nothing.
Well,
You was gone.
I don't know if there was I don't know if it was a flat line, because, you know, it was a severe, so what happened to me, it was a severe panic attack and I couldn't breathe. So there was no, I couldn't breathe, and then I just feel this warm in a white light, and then I'm in my bathroom, but not my bathroom.
Right.
Because I'm like, wait, this is not my bathroom. But it's so funny that it was my bathroom that it is today.
What?
I know. Because last night when I was having my spiritual bath, I was like looking at the little tiles and looking at the details of things. And I was like, dude, I've seen this before. Like, I've seen this before. Like, what? And it was so deep. I had my crystals out, and basically with my spiritual bath, I put light candles. My intentions is to connect with my higher self and connect with me and who I truly am at the essence of, you know, water, becoming water at that point, asking permission of the water to become one with her. So not until I was not until I entered master's community was that I was like, oh dude, that is way more than me. Yeah, you know, like if you're getting really deep thoughts, guys, and I was telling the ladies earlier, like we talked about that, if you're getting really deep thoughts, like you were like, whoa, that's deep. Yeah, boo, that's your spiritual guides, like giving you intels. It might not be something that you're going to be using at this very moment, because remember, time is, for the spiritual world, time is, it's in the real big pocket.
There is no time.
Yeah, there is no time. So it's like you get the info, and then it can be for right now, it can be for a year from now, it can be for 5 days, it can be for 3 days, it can be for 5 days. For me now, I am to the point where I can tell where it's something that is really fast and I need to act upon it really fast. Like, you know, what happened to us, why we're in this, having these conversations for the next 2 weeks. We're going to be just here having conversations with you guys, so you guys can interact with us and you guys can have like deeper conversation with us. So you guys can get to know us more, basically.
Yeah.
And our guides and your guides, because they're working together for your healing. Wink. So wink. So yeah, so not into Master Shir Kashna when I became a disciple, and I didn't know, well, I knew I was going to be a disciple, but I didn't even know what a disciple was, what it entailed, like, because in the Catholic community, being a disciple of Christ wasn't such a big deal, guys. It was just Jesus Christ. What? Only Jesus Christ, right? Like, what? So when I got into my bigger awakening, I explained that to my family, and I said, what do you mean it's wrong to speak to my guide, to my like angel? Like, I speak to Jesus like he's my homie. Like, what? Like, all your spiritual team wants is a relationship. So because there are us, and they're here to guide us and our
wait,
intention.
Let's break that down. Can I break it down?
Yes, please, yes.
Okay. That was like one of my biggest things too, because growing up and God and Jesus and all them peoples, and then it's like you read stuff in that book, the Bible, and when Jesus was talking about we are all gods, and they were like, oh, blasphemy, but what he was saying is that we are all eternal beings. Mm-hmm. So every prophet or leader, I will say, that's come here on earth, they're being just like you. They're no greater or no less, because we're all divine. All of us are divine, all of us. So that was a big thing for me too, Jesse. I was like, what? Are you crazy? And that was another reason as to why it was hard for me to speak to my guides, is because I was putting them on a pedestal. Mm-hmm. I did not think that I was worthy of even being in their presence because I thought they were so great.
Yeah. And they're like, you're great. I love you.
Right.
Can I give you more? Can I give you more, please? Like, what? Only stop resisting, girl. And then that was like my guy. That was my guys last night.
And I used to wonder why people put people down so much. I'm like, why do you do that? We come from a divine source and we're part of it. Yes, we are in a fallen or weakened state, and our job on this plane is to work our way back up, but why do you put people? I never liked that, that they put and real easy put people down. And another thing is that people tend to hear the negative with a stronger feeling and quicker than a positive.
Yeah.
There was this practice we had to do. I was with this studying with the Art of Living Foundation with Ravi Shankar, and we're in this lesson. We're all sitting around this fire, and they said, "All right, we want you to gaze at each other." We're looking, so we did a partner. So I'm looking at someone, they're looking at me, and they said, "Say something that you don't like about yourself." Right? So we're talking. And we're having a conversation, right? Conversation. Buddies, and we and yeah, you do that too. Oh my God, we conversate. No problem. The whole room was like an auditorium of. All right, they said, all right, now get back in position. Everybody was animated, and and I do this and this and that. Where this came from, Flip the script. Say something positive about yourself. You could hear the crickets. Everybody was like, I'm a nice person. I think about 15 people said the same thing. I'm a nice person. And there was a little crowd of people over there. I like music and I love to dance. But we were like, and then we all started laughing because we was like, I don't know what to say. It just like, didn't know what to say. And he was like, pay attention to what just happened. Pay attention. We couldn't even hear ourselves think up here. All the teachers were up on the stage. We couldn't even hear ourselves think because y'all was with the negative. Yeah, do, and your mother too. Yeah, positive.
So the negative thoughts are a distraction to our spiritual guides, so that we don't pay attention to that because
programming. It's programming. It's that's part of the habits. Mm-hmm. That's generational. And it's in our media, it's in our society, it's in our government, it's in our cultures. Yes. That is in even the movies. That's why people like watching scary movies. That's that energy. It's in cartoons. Yeah. It's in anime. It's everywhere that we're taught that we're even hearing a siren. Okay, so hearing the fire truck. Okay, it's you immediately associate something death or negative, and panic and control. Mm-hmm. Control. So it's programming. So what we have to do is just look through that illusion of what it truly is. You know, we're in Oz, and the guy behind the green curtain looked just like you, but he's, oh, I'm so sure. As he coughs, I need to drink some water. And you thinking he's this huge gold, or excuse me, green head, and he's all, but
I'm the great and powerful. Wow.
He bleeds just like you. That's basically what programming is, you know.
Yeah.
So the awareness of what it is,
Sure.
and then having the courage to push through it, you know. And fear. Angela, earlier you were saying something about why do you do certain things, or what it is. It's fear. It's the fear, which is also a illusion. There's danger, but really fear, there's no such thing as fear, you know. There's danger, yeah, but there's really no such thing as fear. Yeah. So it's oh my gosh, it's so much.
But I want to, because while you guys were speaking, I want to say to Amanda, you're so gifted. Both Amandas and all the Amandas, but you are so gifted. Please embrace it. Continue your nature walks, because that is where the subtle voices come true, that will give you the next guidance of the journeys. And this is why my nature walks are non-negotiable. Non-negotiable.
Wow.
I literally can take up 4 or 5 walks a day, and that's not just me. And let's be honest here, that's not me smoking pot. This is just me walking, like me just literally having conversations with myself, the moon, the sun, the grass, the animals, just me becoming one every single day, because of the distractions of the media, because of the distraction of everything. Living with so that it's not 100% awakened. He's awakened on some parts, but not awakened. He chooses not to awaken on other parts because it's so painful to deal with those things, and that happens to us as humans. So, it's so beautiful. Even when you, Amanda, when you came in, and Tiffany, when you guys come in and some things are like moving through you, that's your guides letting you know, like, yes, babe, like, let's continue this because we need to be at the next level, or whatever. Like, blockages, so that you can know that that's not the way. Like, boo, no. See, like, you're doing this. And I am speaking from experience now, because I have that in my life. I have had it plenty of time. My guides shut down completely me, because I want to always help. I always want to help. But my guides, no, we can't. We don't. It's not that we don't want to. It's that not at this moment. The person, the people, the environment, it's not going to resonate with who you are. It's not that they're going to judge you. It's that they're judging themselves. They're not understanding why you are allowed your guides, and why is it that you're so happy with speaking to invisible people, or invisible beings. But yet you're having a conversation with yourself, because your highest self is part of that.
Thank you. You just answered a big question for me. Thank you. I can't, it's so huge. I can't explain what it was, but I will later when it comes to me. But thank you.
No problem. I am, it's
oh man, the divine is great.
For you and me, it's for you, me, everybody. It's And I was telling the ladies this, for me, it's like I've made the decision 2 years ago of being an open channel, and that's what an open channel to the universe is. You get all the energies. So you have to understand them. You have to understand you first, though. Because if we don't understand ourselves, we don't understand the energies that are flowing through us. Because sometimes they can be demonic, and they are disguising themselves as from the light. That's why you have to ask certain questions, because those energies cannot lie.
Right.
There's a law. They're not allowed to lie. So if there is a fear, you must ask, why is there a fear? And you have to transmute that fear with love, because love is the only medicine that is going to give us the next movement.
Yeah.
And it's not like just, oh yeah, I love you, girl. No. It's like unconditional love that like your body's vibrating.
That Jesus came here to teach us. Yes, he's love made manifest. And he was like, I'm showing you the example. Yes.
And we're not, and then the God's not here to push you that also either.
Right.
They're here to push you. They're here to encourage you and guide you along the way.
Amanda says, can spirits attach themselves to people?
Yes. All the time. All the time. That's what the achy feelings, that's what the body pains, that's what headaches, that's what depression is, that's what anxiety is, that is what anything that is not love in your body, that's what it is.
I've actually had to leave some places that I walked into, and I was on tours with students and stuff. And I mean, I was a student myself, and we were walking through, we taking this tour, and I was like this, and one of my friends asked me, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I gotta get out of here." And I gotta tell you guys, I was walking through a prison. I was like, I don't like what went on in that room. That's all I told her. And then it was so funny because they moved with me. It was like, that's enough for me to see what you're going through. They went with me. They was like, we out of here. And then she called her other friend and said, we gotta go. Yeah. And I just had to go out to the atrium, but I had to get away from that room. That room.
That's why it's important for us to tap into our ancestral lineage, because our ancestors will give us protection shield that is coming from the universe, and protection shield, and they will guide us to go into the next phases of where do you got to go next in order for you to elevate and uplift and all of that. For me, that was what happened. I got my grandfather gave me my shield and others shield, and so when I go into like any spiritual shop or anywhere, I just go into meditative mode and I ask for my shield. I expand my shield everywhere I go, especially more now because of my evolution. I was yesterday when I was having my walk with my guides, they're like, are you ready to go to the next step? And I said, well, if I'm not ready, I'm still going to say yes, because I'm going to say yes and close my eyes and surrender. I'm just going to say yes. That's it. I'm just going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. Oh, I'm going to trust and say yes. I don't know what the next level entails, but I do know that the next level means organization, discipline, and lots of action, but not just action, align action. Align action. That is,
I gotta write that down.
That's why. Yeah, if it's not really aligning with the call and the purpose and the uplifting of the planet and humankind, then I'm not allowed to be part of the action, because it doesn't go with whatever. So that's why certain things for me are mandatory, like meditation with Nicole. If I don't come to it, I have to listen to the recording, because there are very important nuggets there for me. Very important. And that's why when you guys see me live, it's like, what just happened? What just happened? They were just like, what? Yeah, because we're all doing it together, right? We're all doing it together and our energies are there. And it's beautiful and profound. I was sent there. I was sent to other some places, that just like Master Shri Karshna. That was like mandatory. Mandatory. Shaman, mandatory. Like you're gonna have to you gotta get to know your shaman roots. We're gonna and then Blue, she came into my life because I'm part of that. So all my lessons are coming through there, and I go, and I know, hey Blue, I know you'll be watching later. I love you so much. Each and every one of you guys are part of each other's journey, and this is why we're shifting different now. Because we are aware that we're in the mission together, or in a mission, or for us to like elevate, for our elevation and the elevation of the planet, not just the planet, us first, and then the planet. Because that was something really strong that came through last night. I was like,
yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, I haven't been listening. It's been so like, okay. So yeah.
Can I summarize?
Oh yes, of course. Boom.
Okay. Okay.
You don't even need to ask.
Okay. Well, I respect the divine in you, my queen. Okay, queens and goddesses and empresses and priestesses and sorceresses watching. Okay, so to talk to your guides, how, and I'm going to also lace in there the question that Amanda asked. First and foremost, what she was saying is that you have to know yourself, you know, and I'll say it this way. You have to be in the journey of knowing yourself, because we're not saying, boom, know everything about yourself and then you can talk to them. No, because we're going to be learning. We're never not going to be learning, even when we're not in this body. We're continuously leveling up and getting closer and closer to the divine. That's what we're doing. So make a conscious decision, I'll say it that way, of that I want to learn myself. I want to accept myself. I want to love myself, forgive myself, see myself, you know, honor myself. I thank myself. Every aspect of yourself, consciously say it out loud and think it, do it, be it. And what that will do, that will continue to, not continue, but what that will do is break the layers of programming, or the word that Jesse used was perfect, the distractions off of you, you know, to where you will be able to sit someplace and actually hear, because our guides speak all the time. We see our guides and ourselves, I will say too, through, the wind, water, nature, children. It could be a cartoon, because media, you know, yes, there is a lot of subliminal things laced in there, but there's a lot of truth being told. Oh my gosh, what? Yeah. So, but you will be at that point to where you're not so busy with things, to where you can actually see. You're like, what? I've watched this show 5 times. I didn't see that. It's because you have changed. The show has not. You have elevated, you know? So first do that. Second,
awesome.
If you, because ultimately we are all shamans and guides and all that, but I know that, because my own personal journey, I was afraid, you know, the worthy thing too, you know, get a mentor, get you a master. In all 3 of it, one of our masters, because we have many, is Master Sri Akashna. So get someone that's been there, that can guide you to the point to where then you leave, because you shouldn't always have a master, because a student has to actually walk it themselves and, hey, get past the master one day, you know? So I would suggest that as well too, because then you will learn how to protect your energies. You will learn, they will be able to guide you, different dimensions and realms and things like that. Because sometimes, you know, we want to go out there and play in the street, but okay, there's cars, there's drive-bys, there's people selling drugs, you know, it's all kind of great things that you shouldn't be experiencing. So you need someone that has that wisdom and that will help protect you. You know, you will be protected from their shadow, basically, from their experiences, from their knowledge. And then back to the question that Amanda asked as far as other people do spirits, I think she said, attached to other people. Remember what Jesse said, and we've said as well too, ultimately nothing can get a hold of you unless you give it permission.
Sure.
However, that still happens when you don't even know it.
Yeah.
So meaning that you don't know that you're giving them permission.
Yeah.
It still happens. So that means literally, because this was something that we were practicing in my household, like for the last 5 years, I wouldn't touch people because spirits can be transferred by touch too. That was in one of the movies with Denzel Washington. There was some spirit, and it was, you touch them and it would just go jump to body from touch. That is true. That is true. However, now I know if I have my shield up that they can't come in. Now I know what to say. Now I know how to greet them, or I know my authority, I should say. Because when Jesse was talking about the spiritual realm, there's rules. There's rules not only on the spiritual realm, but this is a really big one that us as humans need to remember. Because remember, we're really not this. Is that when any entity comes up to us, when they greet us, how are you today, Angela? Angela will say, you know, either she would say something of power, but ultimately love. Are you greeting me in love and light? No. Well, then I don't accept you. And then they have to go. That's our authority. That's our power. Go ahead, Jesse.
I want to touch up on that a little bit because this one is important. So the spirits will come to you also the same way that they say, and they will say that they are from the spirits of the light. They will give you subtle movements and subtle feelings where you thinking that you are there, that they are from the light. But the one thing that they cannot lie to is the unconditional love. And the question of unconditional love, like, tell me how much you love me type of deal. Like, and this is like advanced stuff. But yes, they will disguise them as like love and light, and they will give you things from love and light, and they'll, because they know us, these energies are very, very smart. So they will try to play us that they say that they're from the love and light. That's why you have to become sort of like an interviewer when you're like, when these informations are coming through. And I tell you this because I was walking with somebody, and energy comes in, and it's like, I'm gonna kill myself, da 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 da. First it was like, oh, so lovely, la la la, and I was like, but it's very different. And then I continue my walk with the person, and I was like, wow, is this what this person is hearing in their mind? Because that's pretty freaking crazy. Like, you know, if I know that's not my thoughts. I know that's not my thoughts. Right. So clearly enough, I was like, okay, check. Yep, that's not my thought. That's not my guys. It would never speak to me on that form or that level. But when we were having conversations and we went deeper in conversations, and I said, girl, I'm getting these thoughts about like killing myself. And I have never thought about that before. But I want to be the person to like give you. And then she's like, you know what, that's so crazy that I get that sometimes. And I don't think like that. I never, like, I love, you know, whatever. So we kept talking and we kept walking, you know, in the middle of the walk, and I just asked, who are you already here to do? Like, because I'm gonna need me some clarity. But it takes time for us to be on that service level, you know, and your guys will give you will tell you, yes, this, you engage, this is good for you, or like yesterday, so that happened, and you know, and then I had to, like, it's they're attached to this world, you know, that those energies are attached to this world. So sending them to the light, it's like, first, it's like, if you guys ever seen the show with ghost something with I'm gonna look for this for the show and put it there. It is not so far-fetched.
Supernatural?
It's one of those supernatural show with what is her name? With the girl from Charm, Anyways, I'll put the name of it in there, but it's not far from that. And you just have to, like, you just have to engage, well, but you have to wait for your guys to give you permission. Like, you can't just be like, hey, so, like, boo, like, no, because your guys will let you know if that is an energy that you can talk to, or is it energy that you cannot talk to. This is why it's important for you to find directions. So it's important for you to have somebody that's spiritual with you, that does somebody that it's like, whatever level that you're in, you need somebody that it's a higher up here, and you have to ask your guides, not people. Your guides. Like, when you're speaking to your guides, like when you're going to dream state and you're having conversations with your guides, if that's happening. And if you don't, that a shamanic journey. But you also have to have a shaman with you. You also have to know what you're doing. I was guided from my grandfather to do it, and he is in the spiritual world, so he guided me through the process of it. So I did it with my guides. I didn't do it by myself. And then when I did that, then it was shown to me of the things that I needed to do next, and, you know, how to do this and how to do that. But yeah, do not, like, because, like, traveling in the spiritual world on your own is, like, crazy, because you can go crazy.
Yeah.
Because you don't know who you're speaking to.
Yeah.
It's an open channel that it's like.
You do not go without a guide. You do not go without a guide at all. You have to keep your trust in the divine. I always, like, it was the questions that I've asked when I was a child. Whenever I felt something come in, I would instantly ask, please let me know if this spirit is good, or this spirit is here to not, you know, is to do harm. And I would ask, if it is here to do good, all right, thank you, let it stay. But if it's not, please help me in dispelling it, like getting it away, to remove it. Yeah. So I would ask, I'll hear things come in my room at night. I'll hear the door open. I'll hear things walk towards me, you know, and I would ask. And one time I had a high fever. And of course, my family thinking, you just dizzy, but no, I had a high fever, and a spirit came in, because I just did a prayer and asked for healing, you know, and I was putting my hands, because it was that bad. And I think it was after I had a surgery, and the spirit came in, and I had quickly prayed, and I asked the divine, I said, if this is a good spirit that you sent for my prayer to help me, then I invite it in, thank you. But if it's not, please take care of it, because I was weak at that time. And it laid next to me. And then I felt two arms, just, the spirit told me was good, you know, that it was there to help. I felt two warm arms just hold me and pull me in. I could not rest for over 24 hours, and I was at my wits' end in my energy, and I needed to rest. So it grabbed me and held me in, and then I felt the rest for the rest of the night. And all I said before I went to rest was, thank you. So you have to ask. You do have to ask. I've come to learn that you have to be very careful and ask, and there are spirits around. I've seen them as well. I've visibly seen them move. I was talking to people, and people would ask me in other rooms, who are you talking to? And
My husband has that gift.
All right. All right. And then I would go downstairs where people were. That's when I was younger, used to, like, trying to kind of trip me out, because I thought it was my mother. somebody walking by, and I was like, well, can you pass me so-and-so? And my mother would call for me down in the living room. I'm on the second floor. Who are you talking to? And I would go, oh, I'm coming downstairs. Be right there. I would talk to people in the street. You know, so yeah, spirits are all around, and we have to, yeah, be careful. We are spirits. We are spirits. And I like what Dee had said about the different programs and different things that we watch. We're putting ourselves in that spirit. We're bringing on things, and then we're thinking about them. Then we become what we think about, you know, we do. So that's an entreaty. Like, I love that Dee was saying that sometimes we give permission and don't know we're doing it. You know, that's why there were some things I didn't allow my children to watch when they were younger.
Yeah.
Just because it's a cartoon and it looks pretty does not mean you're supposed to be watching it, you know? So, yeah.
Sometimes you have to take yourself out of the conversation, especially conversations that don't belong to you.
Amanda said that she was, Jessie, when you were speaking about that, those feelings and emotions, and you were like, are these my thoughts? Are these my emotions? Amanda said that she is experiencing that same thing. Right before you said that, probably a couple of minutes before you said that, she typed it in the comments and said she's feeling other people's thoughts at home. So she definitely needed to be here today.
Yeah.
This is definitely, first of all, I'm glad that you followed through, Amanda, and that you came on today and you're watching us. It took courage. I'm so glad that you did that. And for you to get some type of, well, know that you're not alone. You're not alone. You got us. We got you, girl.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, we got you. And remember, like you're saying, how do I speak to my guides? Your guides are speaking through us now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
you know, remember, if we allow it to, and if we see, we talk to them all the time. They see us, they talk to us, they be in the grocery store with you, they be in the bathroom with you, they're everywhere. I mean, they're everywhere, you know, so just relax, trust yourself, love yourself, and love them. And they'll just blow your mind. Be like, girl, I told you don't be talking to that guy. I told you.
I'm not even kidding, girl. I'm not even kidding. That was last night. I was like, okay, well, all right. Like, okay, like that was loud. Can't even avoid that. So yeah. We also, I don't know how we're on time, and I know that
Oh yeah.
I know that Nicole is not hosting the call today.
But I do have an appointment. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. I didn't even know it was 9 o'clock.
Yeah, are you open to have a conversation after with whoever wants to come on and just have and chit chat if whatever, a flow?
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely can do that.
Yeah,
after show party.
To do that, I'm okay with the service. It seems like the guides want to do more for us as a collective.
Yes.
And I love that they organized my life in such a way that if Jessie makes a mistake, it's okay. That's why we're here. We're here to learn, right? We're here to learn. We're here to see what our soul purpose is. And not just what it is, because we know what it is. We actually know. It's tapping into the knowing. So us, we have to tap into our knowing.
Yeah.
Our divine knowing. And that's why human design is so important for us to tap into.
Yeah.
Out of all the tools that I have used, that I can give you physical evidence, not invisible, because sometimes invisible evidence, people are like, oh yeah, no, that's just, I'm going to get bored of that because it's invisible and whatever. But something physical, attainable, that you can work towards your goals and something that you can work with, not just by yourself, but with your family or your kids or your husband, and working together so we don't leave anybody behind out of our family, because sometimes it hurts for us to detach. But if we have to detach, it's a must. And I can tell you, because I had to detach from my husband, living in the same household with him, I had to detach because my spiritual team said we have to detach.
Yeah. Same here.
And it wasn't a moved, it wasn't like you're getting a divorce, but it felt that way for me, because we were divorcing the old us.
That's
it.
well, that's a download I got. You were getting a divorce.
So
Yeah.
once we're so once we are like going back to the knowing ourselves again, I'm like, dude, I didn't even know you can. What? No wonder why you're. That's why now it's like so powerful and strong. I'm just like, I see now. Okay, no more. So yeah. So it took that much. It took separation, and you know, I'm so glad for all the angels here on earth that were, because everybody that we encounter, there's a little bird jumping around, whether they're whether we think that they're here to harm us or they're here to give us that, they're here for a reason, for us to elevate, to elevate and or keep us in the comfort zone. If that's also a choice, because life, earth needs a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
The whole world is getting a chance. And then even the spirits that we're speaking about, they're working stuff out too. They're just on a different level. I know when someone was doing I had to explain to my ex-husband, I'm not on the road that you're on, when I had to separate. And yeah, people are working things out. And there's sometimes you have to take yourself out of the conversation, especially conversations that don't belong to you. It's not your conversation. We keep ourselves in them because we care and love for people. And we don't want to admit to ourselves that something else is needed, or of the true situation. Yeah. So we'll find ourselves in places and spaces too long where we actually shouldn't have our feet in, because it's someone else's. The one thing that you cannot do for someone else is their job. We can't. We're a support team. We do definitely got each other's back. But the person who has to do the work is the person it belongs to, and that's your own feet. Yeah. I love you guys so much. Today was awesome. Thank you. And looking forward to more.
Yeah, right. I will.
About to say, it's never gonna stop, boo.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
So when you were speaking, Ange, before we go, I checked the cards and I asked the spiritual team if they have anything else that they wanted to share today. And two cards popped out today. One came out and fell, and then the other one I pulled because Spirit said I needed to talk about that again. Again, repetition is great. So
yes, absolutely.
So healing, and it's divine healing. And this is the second time that he comes through for us. He came through on Saturday, and he comes back to remind us. He I don't know if you can see, the flares are all the signs of the universe and all the healing places that he's gone through for our healing process. Divine healing. Honor your sensitivity. Retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. I want to go a little bit deeper into the book because I know there's some nuggets that we must receive from the book, because he's been here more than once for us. This is the third time, actually.
There's that number 3.
Yeah. So he wants to really make sure that we hear this message for our healing process and for the purple light. And yesterday, the heart activation, that's why it was so important for us to activate our hearts. So if you weren't on the call yesterday, go right ahead and watch it again. Because our heart activation, it is as important as you eating food, as important as you walking, as important as you anything, as important. This is divine healing. This is divine intervention for our lives, for your lives, for your family, for my family, because the ancestors are also coming through to speak to us. And this is the card. That's the second card that I pulled. So he's a spiritual master who lived in the Middle East during the 4th century. At the age of 15, he left to go to the retreat of Saint Anthony in the Egyptian desert. This was busy with people needing healing, so after a while, he went back home with some monks. During that time, his parents passed away, and it was said that Hilarion was so devoted to service, he gave all of their estate to the brothers in poor. For the rest of his life, he lived as a hermit in a cave and was said to perform miracles with his prayers and touch. To this day, he is dedicated to healing, but he also helps spiritual people who feel overly sensitive to overcome the challenges and the integrator of their normal world, which is what's happening in my personal life. And I can see, I feel you and I hear you, and I'm so glad you're here to heal and reorganized. Thank you so much for that, because wow, that's powerful on its own. The world can seem overwhelming to you, and it's okay to retreat to a safe space every now and then to cleanse and recharge your energy. You may feel called to serve others or share your healing with them, but please ensure you are filled up with light, love, energy first, so that you are not sacrificing your own development for others. You are surrounded by the healing lights of Highland and the healing angels of the time, so that you can recharge and feel a whole. We do not make anything hurt you. All the pain and the hurt that is coming to the world that doesn't know us. We don't come from that. We come from love, light, passion, and healing, and prosperous abundance. If you are experiencing that in your life, then you see us every single day. If you're not, you also see us. You just don't know us. But we are here to guide you and give you everything you need. Is that it? Ancestor spirits here to connect us to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed at this moment. Accept it, embrace it, call upon it, say thank you. This healing is here for divine intervention so that we can heal our family for bigger things. Because what you're seeing with your 2 eyes, or feel, that is past. What we see is in the collective, and it's beautiful, it's bright, it's very abundant for our family. So let's embrace that healing for our family, so we are no longer tormented from the illusions of this dimension. We'll also love to say that that is on page 108. Shout out to our 108 family, to our lineage, because we have just become part of something that to so many is invisible, but to us is so real. Thank you so much, Master, for saying yes. White Eagle is a Native American shaman who is dedicated to honoring our spiritual heritage. He is a world-renowned spiritual guide who has been particularly cherished by mediums all over the world. He first spoke through mediums called 𝕱𝖊𝒏𝒊𝒏𝒆 in the 1920s. He is the guide who helps create clear channel in our bloodline and our spiritual lineage, so we can access the heart of the Creator. When I began my journey, he was one of my first guides, and I thought it was my grandfather because there was so many similarity of it, right? But learning and got with all of it, I can see why. He also helps us move into sacred ceremony, where we can hold sacred space to honor and change, transition and celebration, anything else that deserves time. And this is what I do for us, guys. He is wonderful for clearing space that we can call on him for helping and forgiving spiritual connection. So if you're looking for a spiritual connection, this is who you see to on your family lineage, so you can get more. Of course, it's granny and grandfather and aunts and uncles and all of that. Take some time to honor your home far you have come. Take some time to honor just how far you have come. Recognizing through ceremonies and rituals that shifts in your awareness, healing and journeying through allowed you to move into a state of grace and gratitude. You have recently had an opportunity to heal an old family wound or pattern. It is important to connect with your family in spirit so that you can set a new energy of love in place from a distance until there can finally come into the agreement of the energy of love, because they don't know love. They don't know unconditional love. We say, I love you, but do we really mean how much love? Do we really need love? Unconditional, clear, crystal, so overwhelmed. I hug you and you can feel my whole body. If you're feeling that, if your family is giving you that right now, then take it. If not, then speak to them from the love of source. And trust me, they will come around, because that's what's happening in my family. I was crazy for 2 years. White Eagle is bringing your ancestors through to you and allowing you to know that they are happy and well. Love you so much. Everything that you're doing is part of it. It's part of the collective, it's part of the family, it's part of the tree, that beautiful tree, family tree, but the universal. That's a one. He is sounding his sacred drums to clear your spirit. Boom, 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 boom. That's what I hear. I love you guys so, so, so much. Remember, you're beautiful, 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 beautiful. Love yourself. And remember that healing, it's beautiful. I love you guys.
Love you. Love you. Amanda just typed something I want to address real fast before we go. Angela, what time is your appointment? What time do you have to go?
Oh, I had until 9:30, but it's still good. We're still good.
Okay, awesome sauce. Okay, so Amanda said, I was feeling so guilty for not wanting to be around people who don't respect me.
Oh, Mom.
Amanda, boundaries is self-love.
Yes. Yes.
So no guilty, no guilty. Actually, when you put boundaries, you're respecting yourself. So put those boundaries around you. And if one thing that will be beneficial for everyone is love yourself, know yourself, and understand that other people have their own walk. And even if it's family, if they're there, sometimes you have to separate yourself so you can heal, so you can remember who you are, and get that strength. And then possibly go back to that individual, family member, friend, spouse. But if not, then they were in your life when they were supposed to be, So ask yourself, what lesson am I learning? What am I being shown? Why am I feeling guilty? So go deeper, and ask questions. Be really inquisitive, really, really your 3-year-old self outside having a blast, asking questions, asking your mom, why not?
Yeah.
And not why meaning disrespectfully, why meaning I want to understand within my body and overstand, not understand to where it's very limited,
Yeah. And something that Master gave me when I was going through that, and I'll share that with you, maybe it will help you, to drop into observation and be quiet. And it's gonna be hard. And trust me, if you have a personality like me, like fiery, this is for you, because I say that because it's for me, because I needed that. I needed to drop into observation for this. I just had to really just be quiet and just say, come with like so much love and compassion, because of respecting that they're not, because you're seeing that they're not awakened to your level. So it is our responsibility to now understand that they are also going through their process. But it took me that, so Master gave me that was for me to stay more in me and quiet for me, because this was for all of us as a collective. But for my growth, I needed that because of everything that was going on. So maybe that can help.
You just said something, Jessie, that we forget, I feel. When we work on ourselves, we're working on the collective.
Yeah.
So, and we forget that, we're so worried about other people taking responsibility for their journey and bad talking ourselves and doing all kind of crazy stuff. So yes, separate, observe, like Master Shri said, because when you level up, you're leveling up the world, you know, not even just your family, the world you're leveling up, the collective energy, the frequency vibration of our planet, you're leveling it up. So that was an aha for me. I had to hear that like 2 or 3 times, you know, to really truly understand what we're really all connected for real. I know that, but I need to hear it today on Thursday. It need to be raining outside. I need to be hungry or thirsty at the same time for me to, what? I got it. Boom, I get it now.
The sun just came shining through. Just know, everyone know that as you're working on yourself, you are there. You're part of it. Just because sometimes we feel because we haven't reached whatever pinnacle that we have set in our minds, we feel I'm not there yet, so I'm not worthy. No, you're there because you're doing the work. You're part of it. You're there. That's it. Doing the work is it. Do something. That's why I always say show up. Show up and do something. Man is here to do something, and that's where you're part of it already. You know, that's in any journey. It's a moment. The present moment is all we have. And if you're moving and acting in that moment, you're doing, you know, reward yourself, give yourself that grace. Give yourself that grace. I couldn't think of that word for 5 minutes and it came back. Give yourself that grace. All right? And compassion. Self-compassion is one thing that I'm still working on. I had a friend tell me about a month or so ago that I had to look the word up and really find out what self-compassion really means. It was self-compassion, self-love, and self-forgiveness. Those are the 3 things that I've been working on since about August. Yeah, because you know, you be thinking you're doing it. And say, I'm here to tell you there's something else.
Yeah,
It was that level. Now I'm on the next level.
yeah.
The divine never gives us anything we cannot handle. So if he's tapping you and saying, if we get no tap from our guys and getting the information, it's meant to be there. It's time, and it's time. You know, and in it, whatever our reaction and whatever our action towards it is, how we receive it, whatever we're doing, is all a part of the lesson. You know, even people that go, I can't see that right now. That's part of the lesson. Whatever's blocking you in that moment, you have to look at. That's part of the lesson.
Say that again. That was my guys last night. Like, boo, I told you plenty of time that was a no. Like, I'm gonna have to like shut you down completely for you to understand that.
Wow.
And I'm finding that, you know what, and I want to say this also, guys, we might talk a certain way or different words or language or the way that we receive, you know. So what I would suggest too is whatever resonates with you. You know, don't just listen to us or think that we're saying that it's this. This is it. This is the formula. No, you still have to experiment. You still have to resonate with things. You still have to know yourself and have your own beliefs of faith, religion, experience. Because even as saying the divine, if you don't say the divine, don't say it. Even if you don't think that God is a he, don't say it. Whatever resonates, you know. I want to say that too. Because
that's beautiful, Queen. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. And I also want to give a point. So, you know, the one thing that I have used and I shared with you guys yesterday was how did I get deeper connection? Because I know Amanda asked earlier and it just came through right now. Girl, you didn't share this. You have that. It's the 21 day, and I also, you know, my 21 day, and it's just 21 days of just you and your guides. For 21 minutes, You're going to go on this walk for 21 minutes, no phones, no distractions, no illusions, no nothing. You're just going to show up for you 21 days to hear the guidance, right? And this is going to connect you to nature. This is going to connect you to the exercises. This is going to give you a overall everything. But the intention, you have to set an intention. So whatever intention you want to do per day, you go ahead and you do that intention. And you say, hey, so today my intention is I just want to hear myself in a softer voice. I don't want to hear myself screaming anymore. Right? That could be an intention. For me, it was just, I just wanted to be at peace with COVID when it started. Because I was getting panic attack all the time. And I was like, no, and I wanted to see why. And I was like, God, I know that there's a reason why, but I don't see it yet. Can you please show me? And somebody please show me. I really need, and then I went into desperate mode, please show me. And you know, it soon enough, it started showing. Like the first day, I'm like, oh, hi, Michael. Oh, okay. But that's like, you know, that was like a thought. Like I went to a tree and boom, Michael, that's like right in front of my house now. And that's just me because of, you know, whatever came through at the moment. I'm just like, oh, that's just listening, breathing and listening, breathing and listening, breathing and listening, and boom. And then things will just come in. And then if a negative thought happened, you gotta ask, well, is that me? Like, am I being mean to me? Right? Is it somebody else that's being mean to me and I need to address it because it's harming me? So that's how I started. And then it went deeper and deeper and deeper. And, you know, 2 years down the line, and here I am, you know, with my healing process, you know, sharing it with you guys and sharing it with the world and helping. And, you know, sometimes the people that live with you don't even get that the benefits of it, because they don't want to understand it, they don't want to see it. But if you show that you're doing the work for you and you're showing up for you, and if you learn along the way, then beautiful, I love you for it. But if not, I'm just gonna go for this for me, because I love me. I love me more than I love anybody else. And I'm gonna set these boundaries because I need to find out who I am at the core, like at the real core.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how it started. My guy's like, oh, so you're not gonna share that? Okay, like the one-on-one session that we had. Okay.
Right.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, has been so beautiful. I love everyone. Just everyone has a beautiful day. Continue to have a beautiful, blessed day, full of love and light. Remember to smile today. Do something that makes you happy, you know, and give yourself some credit. You showed up. Give yourself some credit. You woke up and you had a positive thought, you know, many positive thoughts. Give yourself some credit. Love you dearly and see you tomorrow.
Love you, Willow, so much.
Love you. Love you, Dee. Sunshine.